At this time, we're back with a talent icon. Many people say Emily Gaines is here, formerly Emily Pfizer. We worked together briefly, and we've crossed paths forever. What is your talent world like these days? Where are you working exactly?
I am working for a wonderful organization called Specialized Education Services, Inc., lovingly referred to as SESI Schools.
SESI Schools. So, are you finding people to work with schools all across the country in one place? What's the actual day-to-day job like?
Yeah, so we operate and run programs for students with special needs as well as all ed students across the country. I think we're in 16 states now. We're continuing to expand. We operate our own like standalone schools as well as we run in district classrooms. So we run special ed programs in district buildings. We're all over the place. We have a heavy presence in Illinois, Pennsylvania, got a good presence in California. So we're coast to coast. Most of our staffing, yeah, is centered around special ed and all ed positions, special ed teachers, assistant teachers, school leaders, the gamut.
With that many states, are you like super special education law fluent, HR fluent? Like, how does that even work? Because those laws are gnarly.
I'm pretty amazing. No, I'm just kidding. I have learned a lot in this role over the last 6 years. Way more about special ed certification and HR than I ever thought I would know, especially this past June, I stepped into a new role. So, like, when I started this role, I was just leading recruitment, just leading TA, and we were building that machine. Like, they'd never had a talent leader and HR leader ever. So, I was just like building the machine from the ground up. A lot of experimenting, building the plane while you fly it. And then this past June, I stepped into a broader role and oversee all things TA, HR, and a lot of components around learning and development.
So if you had to build up something new from scratch now, like what would you prioritize? Like what is your favorite ATS now? Like what is your favorite HRIS system? Like what kind of things did you learn having to build it up before?
Yes.
Lever? Is it lever or something else at this point?
I
Do you,
actually really miss Lever.
yeah, lever's hanging in there.
I actually think Lever was my favorite ATS to use.
It's too expensive, but
We,
it is nice.
yeah, yeah. I think what I learned is that the systems are actually like less important. I think they are more like a nuisance sometimes and can be annoying for us as the users. But my experience in the building has been that the focus on change management and relationship building and winning trust from key stakeholders and senior leaders was the way more important. We had a lot of things took a lot longer because I didn't invest enough time on the front end of like building trust, going slow to go fast later. I went straight to fast. I'm like an impatient type A person. Like, you got a problem, honey? Solving it immediately. Like, I went way too hard, and yeah, I should have given myself like a much longer window of just being in schools, helping different regional leaders get some small wins to build some trust and to get some goodwill. So we moved forward and backwards multiple times until we hit our stride.
What do you like as a talent manager of other talent people these days? Because you must have a pretty sizable team, or at least the stream of people flowing up to you is sizable, yeah?
It's relatively sizable, but like we're pretty lean given the scope of work we're doing, right? It's like we're hiring around 2,500 employees a year in highly specialized roles in uh, where turnover is still pretty high. Although in my tenure, we've brought down turnover by close to 20 percentage points. So we've, we've made a lot of forward momentum there, but it's kind of like your basic, right? Like recruiters, and we have a talent leader that reports to me, HR business partners and folks, and we hired a new HR leader. The learning and development lane is like where I hope to be able to focus more for FY27. So we're hoping to hire like a real L&D leader. We'll have a couple of trainers underneath them. My coworker and I, who she leads a completely different team, we've just been like Frankensteining it and trying to figure out what do our leaders need? How do we accelerate leadership development? Which I feel like I need to steal some stuff from you and from Kipland, who I feel like has done that well historically. We need some help.
Do you still do interviews with different candidates from time to time?
I've leveled up a little bit, so now I'm doing like more like VP level, executive level searches, but but really not much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
It's kind of the way things have shook out for us. We're definitely a leaner team. So like I am chief level role hirer and also talking to in-house subs for Kip Compton Upper School. And it's such an interesting it kind of keeps you honest though, I guess. I don't, some days I'm frustrated. Sometimes like this is actually very beneficial to be at all ends of the spectrum of a career pathway because it does remind you
Yeah,
of kind of key things. But man, it's so different in just the amount of persuasion you have to do for those types of roles, right? Senior level roles, so some persuasion and sourcing and finding, but it's inherently because of the salary more attractive. The apps are different. Whereas trying to
yeah.
convince someone to be an after school instructor somewhere is a different beat. And I'm sure your folks feel the same way too. How many interviews do you think you've done in your career? How about that?
I mean, it's not even just, it's, it's got to be, yeah, it's got to be in the somewhere in the 5 to 8 range because not even like interviews, but when I was with Teach for America, I was
Yeah, that's
doing
true.
they're like pseudo interviews, right? They're kind of we call them their cultivation calls or cultivation meetings. I mean, I would do like 40 a week. I was on staff for what, almost 3 years.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah. So you got some numbers. You got some numbers up there. Yeah.
It's been a lot. And then coming to SESI, I mean, when I first started, I was definitely doing a lot more director interviews. I was even like teacher interviews. But it's so interesting how that's shifted as I've like a lot more of my time is in the HR space and like thinking about how we manage employee relations and employee engagement and like the culture piece. And so it's been interesting switching more into like employee interviews of like host like roundtables. I did like kind of like a research project like 18 months ago, and I got all of our kind of highest performing assistant teachers and had kind of engagement conversations with them. And I will say, like, those are way more fun because it's not the pressure of like winning and wooing and
Yeah.
I gotta achieve closest vacancy and the timeline is ticking. It was really fun, and I got to just like learn about people and like why do you love this work and why do you love kids. It was really fun.
Yeah. How
Yeah.
much are you thinking about AI in the talent space these days?
Oh my gosh, so much. I think
So much.
so much. I mean, A, thank you so much for making my like day-to-day life easier. And there's like the day-to-day simple wins, but there's still like I feel so far away from like proficiency. Like how do I actually figure out how to use AI strategically for some like real broad wins and like how do we I feel like I'm still in like the day to day. I don't know. I've been trying to think more deeply about some of the bigger bodies of work. Like as I think about like labor models and staffing models and labor efficiency and being able to think about how you manage the needs of students with the realities of budget constraints. Like I feel like there's a lot there.
Talent recruiters are really going to have to struggle to figure out if somebody truly is qualified for a role just because you can arms race yourself up as a candidate and make you seem awesome? Or is it really any different than somebody who had a polished resume or was a good interviewer, quote unquote, also fooling you? And then when they actually got in the job, they weren't any good anyway. Is it actually
Yeah.
any different?
I actually don't know that I feel like it's that different. I think also like it's just a different context. Like if I was working for Netflix, I know you had a Netflix representative on here not too long ago. Uh, like maybe I would be more worried about that, but like in the education space and especially in our context for special ed, like
You got to
the
you got
talent.
to do it at some point. You can't bring an AI robot to do the demo lesson. You can't do yeah.
Yeah, but even like the pool is already like so limited, and we're it just feel like it's a different talent pool that like I don't know that I feel so deeply concerned that our candidates are using AI to pull one over on us. Like I don't know that this is the job you're applying to.
Yeah. We also would likely, as you would ask your employees to take advantage of AI. So it would be strange to totally pull AI out of an application or interview process. But yeah, I
Totally.
think there's still some like weird reluctance on interviewers' parts to just not be explicit about when to use it or when not to use it, or this is why,
Yeah.
come to our office and we're going to give you a pen and paper. You're going to write. These things are not hard to design if you're actually so freaked out about it.
And it's like, I mean, I honestly at this point in time, it's like I expect you to use AI for your resume, for your cover letter, for like any project task I'm giving you. Like that's an assumption we're making. Of course, you're doing that, but in some ways, like people are still people. So like I just supported a search for our vice president of business development. It's a new role, a member of our executive team, right? Like this is one of our highest positions in our organization. I mean, I must have still interviewed at least like 20, 25 people. And it's like AI did not help any of y'all. Like people are still peopling. I'm still talking to
Yeah,
you. I'm looking at your face. Like
right.
even if you were having an AI chat and you were like reading it out of the corner of your eye, I don't know how you're really pulling one over on me in an interview setting. And
Yeah,
it
you got
was
to retry.
there was some yeah, it was clear. I actually wish some of these people would have done more with AI. Like you should have done more preparation with AI.
Would you ever be comfortable with AI recruiting interviews, right? So you have an AI agent who interviews candidates early stage.
We're using it now.
Oh, nice. How's it been going?
Yeah.
Is it voice only, or is there like a avatarish kind of thing on the screen that's talking to you?
It's voice only. I get creeped out by the avatar things personally, but we also just historically have seen maybe that would increase completion rates. But I mean, we are operating in a real high volume recruitment market, right? We're managing somewhere between like 50 to 70,000 applications a
Oh,
year.
wow. Okay.
So because we're hiring a lot of one-to-one aides, like entry level paraprofessionals, volume is high. We found a really drastic completion rate decrease when we tried to do like video interviews, video AI. So we just do a phone interview AI. It's actually that part, it's technology. I feel so old. Like technology is so creepy because it's really actually hard to even distinguish that it's not a person. And so, I mean, it's worked just fine for us. We didn't see any decrease in completion when we compared phone interview completion rates with a live recruiter versus our AI system now. I think there's definitely been some questions and concerns from like the leaders that we work with around quality and how much can you honestly garner from like an AI screen. But we haven't seen any data to prove otherwise. And in fact, our retention has increased since we've used it, like both overall retention and first 90-day retention, which leads me to believe it's not making any type of negative impact.
One for the robots. Someone wants to be one of those 50,000 apps. What's the best way to find you or to work with you?
SESIschools.com. Come work with us. We're in all the states. If you want to work with the dopest, coolest kids, I mean, I've worked my entire career in the education space, in Everform, in Charter World. And I thought I know school, duh. And then I came to SESI and it rocked my world and made me rethink everything I know about what is the purpose of school. Why does school exist? What is the role of school? It made me rethink everything about like what is the role of a teacher? Who is the ideal teacher? And I think this kind of K-12, traditional K-12 vision of the 32 and a half year old woman that wants to teach kindergarten, right? Like the archetypes you think of just was like flipped on its head. Our students are so beautiful and have a lot of different unique challenges that I never really encountered. And I never thought that school could look and sound and be this way when I go into our programs. So for anyone that's looking for something different and innovative and hard, we're where it's at.
All right. We'll put the info to all of Emily's goodness in the episode description. Thanks for coming on. This is the episode that people have been asking for. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see the YouTube and Spotify numbers go through the roof. And for all the past episodes of people that have, in some ways, worked with Emily as well. It's like a whole little ecosystem for all of us. Check those out. All the places you get your podcast. Check us out in Stunning 4K and YouTube. Tell Emily to get some backdrop next time, and we will check you soon.